Hi, today's video is being sponsored by the Orchid Supply Store, which has, as you can see, some nice large Vanda bark. You can also get these bamboo trellises if you like. You have pots. I also got this 10-inch basket from there. So if you'd like to get a 12% viewers discount, go to the orchidsupplystore.com. Enter the coupon code TRISH at checkout, get your 12%. So let me turn you around, and then we are going to attempt to put a lavanda here, which is, let me zoom in on it a little bit if I can get it to focus, the RHV Culminary. And I got it from Hausermann back in October. Before my surgery, I just threw some fresh bark at the bottom, took it out of the pot it came in, put it in there with whatever media, fresh bark on top. Well, now is a good time to repot her because she does have some active root tips. She has continued to grow leaves. She's grown this leaf and this leaf, I believe, if not this one, and this one. I know these two. Not 100% sure on this one here. I have a little idea of how to keep the bark from falling out. The large Vanda bark are nice big pieces, but I also want to create a little bit of humidity, and I'm thinking maybe this cocoa liner might help. So let me turn you around and let's see what we can. So I took the opportunity to go ahead and take it out of the pot it was in. Let's take this little clip here off. And I had forgotten that it came in this basket, which most of your Vandas, when you get them, you are going to get them in this basket here. However, I do want to take the basket off, and most of these roots are fairly decent. As you can see, they look tired and brown, but I think that's just from the old bark kind of leached onto it. I'm not sure, but they're firm. And there's root tips there. There's root tips all over this, so I really need to be careful doing anything with these roots. So we are going to attempt to cut this basket off. If I get in here and I find I can't do it, then I'm just going to have to leave it on here. So let's go here. And what I'm going to do is I'm cutting around the actual, okay, those are dead roots anyway, around the edge of it to move that root out the way so I don't cut it. There we go. And there we go. Hopefully this will go easier than I am expecting. Okay, that one's not any good. We'll cut here. And if my hand is in the way, I do apologize ahead of time, but I am more concerned with watching where these roots are. So there we go. And then when I'm done, like there's a root tip right in here, so I need to be very careful. Let's see, did I get it? Be a little more careful. See that little root tip right there? Let's see, where is it? Right here. That's what I'm focusing on at the moment. Oh, you know what? I can just pick it up and move it out of the way. That's amazing. Okay. And I'm sure y'all have seen this before, so if you haven't, let me know in the comments below, and let me know your method of getting these net pots. Sorry about that, guys. Getting net pots off of plants. Let's see, we got that one. Then we got to get in here, and there's a nice little root here we need to be very diligent of. I'm hoping to grow her outside this year on the front porch, which I do have the girls outside again. I will do an update video, show you guys which ones are out there, and I know I showed you before, but for those of you who missed it, will be a little new thing. Okay, let me untangle a couple of these here. I'm not cutting any of the roots until I get everything off. So we are just going to cut this side off first because there's no roots right here. All right, piece one. Now then, untangle here. See if we can bring it out a little bit. Actually, I think if I cut it right there, I can get all of it out. There we go. Again, there's some roots right there. There we go. And I just soaked her in just some plain water. I didn't soak her in any CalMag or anything like that. I just soaked her in just regular filtered water Nothing in it. Prepping her for this. I just wanted the roots to be a little more malleable. All right, so we've got the bottom off. Now let's see if we can get the top off. These bottom leaves look so sad. I might take the 4 off here, take these 4 off, and then put her in. Just depends on how deep she goes into that basket. We'll determine that. Now, I think if I just cut on either side here, we can probably, let me lay her down. I don't know who I think I am. I'm not that strong anymore, especially since I've got that stupid carpal tunnel in my hand. And it's to the point now where they are talking about doing surgery, so I might possibly be getting surgery in a couple of weeks for this. So with that in mind, I wanted to get as much done as possible. Even though the recovery is not that long, I mean, it's still going to be a while before I get the strength in my hand. So there's that. Let's see if it'll just come right on out. So we do have that root. This root right here is kind of stuck on it. Can you see that one? That one right there is stuck on there. Let's see if we, oh, I see what it is. Okay. And it does look like it's a branching root system from what I can tell. So still don't want to cut this root, but if I end up cutting it, then that's just what's going to happen. But I think we saved it. There we go. Have you guys ever done that? Saved a root and then at the end of the day you ended up cutting it off anyway? I always find that amazing when I do that. I'm like, well, why did you go through all that trouble to save it if you were just going to cut it off? Let's see. What do we have going on this side? Got a nice beautiful root right there. Let's see. That one is on there. Shoo. Let's turn it this way. See if I can get in right here. Nope, can't get it that way. What if we just, there we go. I wonder if we got it loose. Okay, we got part of it loose. And then we got one more, and it's a nice, nice juicy root too. All right, see if I can just nip it without messing up too much here. There we go. And did we get it loosened? No. You know what? I'm just going to leave that one piece of plastic that's on that root. I'm just going to leave it on there. Or should I just cut that root off and encourage it to grow? That's what we'll do. I think she's got enough down here at the bottom that, because I really don't want that plastic on there. There we go. All right. Some of these sheaths off of here from old leaves. Okay, before I start tearing leaves off and stuff, let me bring, move that out the way, the basket over here, and let's see how far down she's going to sit if, let's see, we do that. Yeah, see if I take these 4 bottom leaves off right here, because they're kind of already kind of droopy, I want to take them off. Set her a little bit deeper in, maybe not these 2, maybe just the 2 bottommost. Yeah, just the 2 bottommost. And then this way she can set down a little deeper into the basket. And hopefully encourage her to do some more growth. So I'm going to do what I do with my Phalaenopsis leaves. I'm just going to split it in half. And I'm going to go around this root right here. And we'll just take it off from there. Same thing on this side. Just split it in half. Yep, and then this way, also this aerial root right here, it's got just the beginnings of a growing tip on it. I don't know if you can really see that on there, but just the beginnings of a growing tip. We can put that in there. So now I'm going to go, and most of the dead roots are right here down at the bottom of the crown. So we will just actually cut that off altogether. And it'll give us an opportunity to look at a lake crown as well. All right, looks like a clean cut to me. Give me a second here. Let me move some of this stuff out the way. Looks like a clean cut if it'll focus. So I should not expect any bad things to happen. Fingers crossed. All right, what do we have here? Live root. This one here is a goner. It's firm kind of to the top, but most of that is gone. And that's a goner. Let me know if you have this orchid and is it as beautiful and fragrant as I've read. I actually saw this on Bumblebee's channel. I don't know if you guys watch Bumblebee, but I saw it on her channel and oh my goodness, the blooms. And then when she said it had a nice fragrance, well, I happened to see it and I got it for myself for my birthday last year. It's part of my birthday hauls. Here's that. Let's clip that. So all I'm doing now is just really being nitpicky instead of just letting her do her thing. And I want to kind of separate the roots as well so that they can spread their wings and fly and spread through. And I soaked the cocoa husk to kind of so I can make it more malleable when I put it into the basket. And also that will keep the bark from falling out. And like I said, I'm kind of hoping to create a little bit of humidity with this because it won't dry out as quickly. I know the first few weeks I'm going to have to water it quite a lot, probably every other day, because with the brand new bark, everything is going to dry out a lot quicker, which Vandas don't mind a little bit of a drought. But it is also very windy on my front porch where I am growing LA orchids. Even if there's no wind blowing in the yard, like you can see in the yard, on my porch, there's always a breeze, which is, I guess, good. Nice airflow, which is what we want for our ladies. All right, before we put her in the basket, let's put the lining in. So this is a 10-inch basket from the Orchid Supply Store. And I am going to raise you guys up just a little bit here. Let's see if I can get in the right direction. Okay, so now we're going to put this in the basket and all the way down. And then I'm just going to fold over the edges in here into the little slats because eventually I'm hoping that Miss Lady just fills this up with roots. So let's just put that in there. And we'll put that there. There we go. And that is all we're going to do with her. Now let's get the Vanda and let's see how are we going to set her in there. Kind of like that. I kind of want her that way. What do you think? I think she's going to look lovely. Lovely in here. Let me get these roots that were sticking out down into this, and it can go into the cocoa lining here. All right, and then a little bit of bark. So let me show you this bark, guys. It is beautiful. Look at this. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful large bark. You can, again, get that at the Orchid Supply Store. And my coupon code TRISH is a multi-use coupon, so you can go as many times as you like. And this is actually my very first time putting a Vanda into a basket like this. I do have one in the hexagon baskets that, again, from the Orchid Supply Store. And the orchid I actually got from the Orchid Supply Store is actually sitting in that one. Make sure that all that bark is going down in between all those roots. Now, it's my understanding that she should take off, and I'm hoping with taking those leaves off the bottom, that'll help encourage some more roots to form at the stem, because she's not really, other than those root tips, which I was very careful with when I was putting this bark in here. I know it didn't look like it, but I was being mindful of where they were. There's one right there, as a matter of fact. And then this aerial root, if it gets covered up with some bark, I'm not too concerned with that. It'll figure itself out. All right, well, she's actually standing up here by herself pretty good, actually. I may not need that trellis after all. And then the hanger, too, I already have it spread out. That should help hold her in place as well, just in case. And I am pulling this bark all the way to the top, which is the idea here. Let's see if we can get this one root to kind of go down. I thought about bracing the roots down, but then I was afraid a good wind and they would break off, and then that would be counterproductive of what we're trying to do here, which is grow roots, not break roots, right? Let me know if y'all think this is a good idea. I hope it is. I'm thinking it is. Let's get some bark in this corner here. Nice and tight in here to hold that back. All right, let's just, for giggles, see how the trellis does in here, if it's needed. Let's see. My OCD, guys, is kicking in. I want her in the center, and I realize that I can't do that. But it is, I guess, what we're going to have to do here. Let's see if we do it this way. Push her down. There we go. Yeah, and then I can kind of tie her onto this for right now with the little tie that she came with. So bear with me here. Let's just do that real quick. I'm going to turn her around so I can get to the back of her. But isn't she pretty in here? Look at this. Let me raise that up just a little bit so you can see. Look how pretty that is. I think I do like the trellis on here. So actually, we're going to put her just like this. And this is just I guess a little soft string that came with it. So it's not very tight on here. Just enough. Let me put the name tag up front so I can see it. That'll help hold her steady on there so that she can settle in. And I might still get one of my Velcro straps later to add to this as well, because it's not as tight as I'd like it. There it goes. All right, and then we'll put the name tag. So I did get her in September of last year, 2022. And she's been in the other setup since November, and I had my surgery in December, so. Not much going on other than those few little root tips showing. So hoping that with this, and I'm going to put some of the bark over here on the side as well to help hold her down and hold that stake steady, well, the bamboo trellis a little more steady. Let's put some on this side. I appreciate you guys coming through again to visit. Love it when you guys come by, especially when I'm doing this, because if I would have done this on my own, much like with Miss Nina over on Ninja Orchids, I tend not to pay attention a lot and just kind of hurry up and do it. But with those root tips that were there, I really wanted to make sure that I was being very cautious of that new growth. Probably need to get a little bit more bark, but I'll do that afterwards because there is still a couple of little empty spots and low spots. And I do want to get a little bit more around this root here, again, to kind of encourage it to grow, and then get some more growth around the base. And we will have to keep an eye on her this growing season and see what happens, because she does grow leaves. She's grown lots of leaves. Something I have learned is vandas and leaves don't always mean roots. Whereas those of us who grow Phalaenopsis know that most of the time, if there is new leaf growth, root growth is not that far behind. Well, this is all I'm going to do to her right now. Let me turn her around so you can see her from le front. There she is. I think she looks fantabulous in this basket. And I know this basket looks a little big, but from what I've read and seen online, she's going to be kind of a big girl. So this is probably a good size for her. And if I have to replace the bark later on, it's a lot easier. Just dump the bark out, and then I can just continue using the cocoa liner. With that, let me know what you think. Don't forget to go to the orchidsupply.store.com. Get you a couple of baskets, some Vanda bark or some fir bark or some Orchiata bark, perlite. They've got decorative pots. They've got plastic pots with slots, without slots. I love the clear pots. Oh, I love them. They also have imperial gardening or potting soil, which is fantabulous. I recently repotted one of my Christmas cacti in there, and it is now taking off. It wasn't doing anything. Refreshed it with that, and she's going fabulous. So I will probably put my white one in that as well. I just got to go to orchidsupply.store.com and get me some. And yes, I'm going to use my own discount code. So let me get the wire rack on here, and I will show you the finished product in a moment. Be right back. Guys, I love how this turned out. Oh my goodness, I love this. Look at this. Look how beautiful she looks. I adore this. All right, I will hang her where she is going to live for the season, and we will do an update on her next time we look at the girls outside. Everyone have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next one.